सन्मात्रमद्वयमनामयचिच्छरीरं तत्त्वं पदार्थनिगमामृतबोधरूपं कोऽहं विचारमहसैव च बोधनीयम् आनन्दमात्मरमणं शरणं प्रपद्ये।
ओम उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् विद्राविताशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनीनां निरस्यमायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महांस्तत्त्वमसीति बोधम्। ममाद्य देवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात्कृतसन्निधानः ओङ्काररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तम् अपाकरोतु। प्रकाशात्मिकया शक्त्या प्रकाशानां प्रभाकरः प्रकाशयति यो विश्वं प्रकाशो नः प्रकाशताम्। अन्तर्यश्च बहिर्विधूततिमिरं ज्योतिर्मयं शाश्वतं स्थानं प्राप्य विराजते विनमतामज्ञानमुन्मूलयन्। पश्यन् विश्वमपीदमुल्लसति यो विश्वस्य पारे परः तस्मै श्रीरमणाय लोकगुरवे शोकस्य हन्त्रे नमः। यस्मिन्नेव भवेत् स्थितं जगदिदं यस्यैव सर्वं जगत् यस्मात् सर्वमिदं भवेत् समुदितं यस्मै समस्तं भवेत्। येनेदं निखिलं जगत्समुदयात् सर्वं यदेव स्वयं सत्यं गुप्तधनं तदेव हृदये तत्सत्परं धीमहि। करुणापूर्णसुधाब्धे कबलितघनविश्वरूपकिरणावल्याम् अरुणाचलपरमात्मन् अरुणो भव चित्तकञ्जसुविकासाय। So we are, for the last few days, we have been meditating on Bhagavan's Ulladu Narpadu Anubandham, supplementary for the 40 verses. The first 5 verses, Bhagavan spoke about the greatness or glory of sadhu sangha, satsanga, contact with, you can say contact with a devotee, contact with a spiritual master, an illumined soul, contact with a Jivan Mukta, direct contact with some higher divine being, or contact with your own inner being, the self. All this is satsanga. Anything that can lift you, give you an elevation from the worldly thinking, anything that can, in bhakti, anything that can make arise waves after waves of divine love, that is bhakti satsanga. And yoga satsanga is, you sit there, the mind becomes quiet. No thoughts, still. Yogaschitta vritti nirodha, that is yoga satsanga. And you can say karma yoga satsanga also is possible. You sit in that presence, you are inspired to work in the world without any motivation. That is karma yoga satsanga. And jnana satsanga is, you listen, your attention is completely turned towards the listener. Devotees, many have reported that when they sat in the presence of Bhagavan, one look from Bhagavan, or even he need not look at maṉam itself, suddenly you feel the I arising within, the spurti. Something like when you do the churning of butter, curd, butter comes up, like that. A churning happens inside, and you are able to, your attention is locked in that pure chit, the consciousness which throbs inside as aham, I. So that is jnana satsanga. The satsanga in which jnana is important. Jnana satsanga are two types. Shankaracharya says in Vivek Chudamani, either you directly meditate on the self, that is the pure jnana satsanga, which makes you contemplate, recognize the self. One instant, you have a paradigm shift. Your entire attention is turned towards your real nature, or about the self. Swaswarupa anusandhanam, swatma tattva anusandhanam. See, sometimes that also happens. Even in Bhagavan's presence, sometimes there will be discussions about the teaching, about Advaita, Vedanta. That is also a satsanga. So simple definition is, you simply forget the I, you, he, this, that, everything is forgotten, vanished. The moment all the three persons are gone, the fourth person will come, who is the Turiyam, the impersonal being. You neither think about me, nor about he, nor about him, you, nothing. That is what in Aksharamanamale in a pad. Ni non arapuli nidankalimayamai nindridum nilai arul arunachala. Arunachala, give me that state where there is no you nor I, and the moment you and I are gone, what remains is a strange presence, which is effulgence itself, which is pure ananda, kalimayamai nindridum nilai, the joy, happiness of the real existence, being. So that alone exists. That is always there, but because the attention is always on me, or he, or you, and in between this mind travels from me to you, from me to he or she, or from me to some event, some emotion. This is samsara. That is why Bhagavan says, first you find out the nearest culprit, that is the me, and inquire who this is. Bhagavan says about the thief. He is the thief. So when you inquire what is this I, you find that the I is not real. As we said yesterday, the I is shunyam. The I becomes nothing. Then what exists? Something purnam exists there. Something which is light itself is there. So that is Arunachala Swarupam. That is Atma Swaswarupa. That is Nirvana. So that is what? The power of Satsanga. When you are in the direct presence of a sage. Because a jnani is not a knower, he is the knowledge. He is Brahman. He is not Brahmavit. Brahmaveda, Brahmaiva bhavati. When you come to know Brahman, you become Brahman. Become Brahman means what? You are already Brahman. The ignorance is gone. That's all. So you are that Purna Vastu. In that Purna Sthiti, it is God Himself. So that contact with a sage is the most powerful means of lifting the mind from the world. If you have real contact, as Bhagavan used the word sadhu urav, you have intimate connection, a link is there, then that real spiritual thing is transmitted. So that is the 5 verses. And the 6th verse. Slogam Parayanam. Māviyā eṉṇāl āribaḍumē dēvaṉī āhumē āhaiyāl ārkkum śurutiyāl ēkaṉ dēvaṉē yeṉṭṛu. Ko devo yo manovetti manome drishyate maya tasmat tvameva dēvō'si eko deva iti śrutihi. This is they have translated from an unnamed Sanskrit work because the name is not known. See, those who are masters in Sanskrit, sometimes spontaneously shlokas will come. So Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni used to do that. Bhagavan used to humorously remark about the power of Ganapati Muni, his scholarliness. So one day he was giving a talk and suddenly he quoted a shloka. And somebody asked, where is the shloka from? He said, it is in Rāmaṇa Gīta. At that time, Rāmaṇa Gīta has not come. The book has not come. He said, it is in the Rāmaṇa Gīta. Like that, quoting, Rāmaṇa Gīta came. And it was published. And another day, he was giving a talk, and a new shloka came, and somebody asked, where is it from? He said, it is in Rāmaṇa Gīta. He said, it is not in Rāmaṇa Gīta, because Rāmaṇa Gīta is already there with me. He said, it is in Brihad Rāmaṇa Gīta. Another new elaborate version of Rāmaṇa Gīta is coming. So spontaneously shlokas come like that. So, like that, this shloka has come. I am reminded about a very funny incident. Once I was giving a talk on Shankaracharya's life and teachings. And a very big scholar was sitting in front. In fact, he was the deciding person in central government regarding Sanskrit. And he was thorough with Shankara Vijayam. And many who were organizers, they told me that he has gone through many Shankara Vijayas. And not only that, he is very, very sorry to say, but he is not now alive. What they told is, he is very, very arrogant. So he will, any speaker, he will cross question. He will prove that they do not know anything. Or Shankara Vijaya means he will ask where from this, that, everything. So what to do? We are not bothered, because if we do not know, we can say we do not know. That's all. So when that Shankara Vijayam talk was happening, some force inside, every shloka I am chanting, he is chanting. He is also repeating. In front he is sitting. So, because of him, my attention is a little bit distracted, and so many devotees are listening. Some force from within that spontaneously created some shlokas and started saying. He was looking like this. Because the moment they know that the shloka which is coming, they do not know. From next sentence onwards, he became very humble, started listening. After the talk, I expected, he came to me and asked where that shloka is from. I told him, I will tell later. Because the function is over. So I am reminded of that when we say, this shloka we do not know the source. So this is, Bhagavan has translated, dēvaṉ ārmaṉam tēruvaṉ yeṉṇmaṉam āviyām eṉṇāl āṛibaḍumē dēvaṉī āhumē āhaiyāl ārkkum śurutiyāl ēkaṉām dēvaṉē yeṉṭṛu. Here a question: who is the deva? Who is Bhagavan? Who is God? Rārmaṉam tēruvaṉ. The answer is the one who is the witness, the awareness behind the mind. The one who illumines every thought. So when you listen, there is a stage where you understand, and what we spoke about Jnana Yoga is, when you listen, your attention is turned towards not the subject, object. The so-called subject is also an object. Instead of that, it turns towards the listener. Who is listening? Somewhere the question arises, who is within me, who is hearing, who is listening? And it is me, I. And what is this I? Who is the listener? Shrotrasya shrotram, the ear of the ear, the listener behind the listening. When the attention is turned towards that listening becomes samadhi. It becomes absolute experience of the self. So this is what Bhagavan here says. Who is the illuminer? The illuminer is behind the mind. Deva means light. Diva, that root, dhatu, it means that which illumines, that which is effulgent. So who is the deva? Yār-maṇam tēruvaṉ, one who is the knower of the mind. The Upanishad says, when you go to sleep, suddenly the inner chamber is open. That is, you start dreaming. Outer things are all closed. Yayesha supteshu jagarti. Supteshu. The person is asleep, but something wakes up inside. Jagarti. And what happens? Kamam kamam purusho nirmimana. One dream after the other. Sankalpa comes. And some light illumines that. And that is the source. Tadeva shukram. Tad brahma. Tadeva amritamuchyate. That is the immortal being. Tasmin lokaha shritaha sarve. In it, all the worlds are situated. So, dēvaṉ yar ārmaṇam tēruvaṉ. yeṉṇmaṇam āviyām eṉṇāl āripaḍumē. Here Bhagavan uses the word āvi. In Tamil, āvi means spirit. The spirit inside, which is shining as the I am. It is the light by which everything is illumined, everything is known. Āviyām eṉṇāl. Actually, ஆவிங்கிறது சம்ஸ்கிருத பதம். அது எனக்கே ரொம்ப நாளுக்கு அப்புறம் தான் தெரியும். ஆவினாலே நமக்கு தமிழ் தான் வரும். ஆவிசன்னிஹிதம் குஹாச்சரம் நாம மஹத்பதம் அத்ரைதத் சமர்ப்பிதம். The Shruti says it is the innermost intimate light of the self, which is the Shruti calls as Avi, the spirit. And that spirit is the knower. It is the illuminer. It alone exists within. āripaḍumē. Everything is known by that. That is why Bhagavan always turns the attention towards that. Who is the knower? Who is the person who wants to know? Who wants to meditate? Who is suffering? When you go with an intense pain, suffering, the question is, who is suffering? I am suffering. And who is this I? இந்த நான்கிறது யாரு? இந்த துக்கப்படக்கூடியன இந்த நான் யாரு? துன்பப்படக்கூடியன இந்த நான் யார்? என்னோட ஸ்வரூபம் என்ன? இப்படி தேடி பார்க்கறது, when you inquire within, who is this I, then you find that the I, the jiva bhava, the I thought vanishes. And there, that whole, that pure peace, shanti, it shines forth, and that is the deva. Bhagavan says that is arunachala. āhaiyāl dēvaṉī āhumē. See, when I sit here, I can see Arunachala. And Bhagavan says, whenever you look at Arunachala, he is telling you, I am you. In fact, once Bhagavan said, Arunachala is asking you, why are you looking at me? You look at yourself. That Arunachala you cannot miss anywhere. Anywhere of the globe you go, you are carrying Arunachala because he is within you as yourself, as your own awareness. The outer Arunachala, a building comes, it will be covered. That is the whole complaint in Tiruvannamalai. Somebody had a building very near Arunachala, another building came, they cannot even breathe. That much big a building very nearby Arunachala is covered. And the inner Arunachala is shashvata, eternal. You can never miss wherever you go. That is why Bhagavan said, Arunachala, you are dancing within as I. This Arunachala hill is here. Still devotees asked Bhagavan, suppose Arunachala appears before you. Appears before you means, what they meant is, he comes before you as Shiva. In form, as a human form. What will you ask? Bhagavan said, don't try to deceive me. I will tell Arunachala also, don't try to deceive me. I know you are the inner being, inner self. So the outer Arunachala is constantly telling you Tattvamasi. You can see the figure of Dakshinamurti sitting like this. This is the mudra, the chin mudra. And what does it mean? It means this finger is the truth, Brahman. Without this you cannot do anything, but with this you cannot do anything. It will not do by its own anything, but the help is needed. And this finger, it represents the ego. You, me, all with this finger. I think anywhere in the world they do like that. I believe so. Nobody it's only this like that. So this finger is touching the truth. This is Chin Mudra. And Shankaracharya says, Dakshinamurti, what is he doing? Tattvamasi bodham. He is giving you the awareness of Tattvamasi. Awakening of Tattvamasi. Every moment, whenever you see Dakshinamurti, he is telling you Tattvamasi. You are the truth. You are the center, the fulcrum. That is what Arunachala is also doing. Enna paattu adu? Acha? Achalane ayinum. No. Adutha paattu. Tattvamasi arunapurulam. Adu eppadi thodangirathu? Satya chit sukam andri para uyir shar aikyam. Tattvamasi arunapurulam. Achalattu artham ghanam adu ahum. Sevvadaga āroliyāl mukti ninaikya arul. Arunachalam unnidave. The moment you turn your mind inward, you are liberated. Outwardly he is telling you, you are that. You need a master only for this. To remind you, look at yourself. Otherwise you will look at the master. Master is the only one who tells, don't look at me, look at yourself. Any master who tells, look at me means he is Yama. Because the whole world is telling you that, look at me. That is Maya. Anything that tells you, look at me is Maya. And the force, power which is opposite to Maya is Guru. And what does the Guru do? It tells you, look at you. Look at yourself. What is within you? See your own real nature. That is what Bhagavan said. You want to see Bhagavan? See yourself. Bhagavan is within you as the self. You can never miss Bhagavan. Ahattamarai malarmeedurai arunachala rāmaṇan. He is in the heart lotus, shining as I. That is Ramana. That is any Guru. That is Jnanam. So the real Deva, the real God you want to know. See, in the beginning, it is acceptable that you are seeking a God outside. First, directly you cannot come to this idea. That is called Samvadi Brahma in Vedanta. Beneficial illusion. Beneficial illusion. The example that is given is, something is shining. You think that it is a light, a lamp. But you go to that place, you find that it is a very, very precious diamond. It is called beneficial error in Vedanta. Like that, all our life is an example for that. Because when we start our spiritual life, we have no idea what we are going to get. We have no idea. Almost all people, they think some God will appear before me. So in that stage, you need an outer God. For many last century, the inspiration is from Ramakrishna story, where Vivekananda went to Ramakrishna as Narendranath Datta and asked him, have you seen God? And Ramakrishna said, I have seen God as more intimately than I am seeing you. And you can also see Him. This was the very great inspiring answer, which in fact stirred the whole world. The same question was put forth to Vivekananda somewhere in America. Have you seen God? He said, I have seen nothing but God. If I have to see you, I have to see you through God. If I have to see the chair, I have to see the chair through God. So the answer, by the time the listeners have traveled from that state to this state. So the answer is okay. Many people asked Bhagavan also the same question, because they have read that Ramakrishna story, and lot of bluff comes with spiritual stories. I have also heard in my younger days that Vivekananda asked Ramakrishna, have you seen God? Ramakrishna said, you touch me, you will also see. Something like that. So, one person asked Bhagavan, can you show me God? As Ramakrishna revealed it to Vivekananda. Bhagavan smiled and said, is the person Vivekananda? Or the person who is asking me, is he Vivekananda? And then Bhagavan said, people all imitate Vivekananda and ask this question. If you see you, your own real nature, you have seen God. God has already happened to you as your own awareness, as the real nature of the I within. So, yeṉṇmaṉam māviyām eṉṇāl āripaḍumē. The Avi, the spirit, is shining forth, illumines my mind. āhaiyāl, dēvaṉī āhumē. You are the Deva. That is what Arunachala says. When you look at Arunachala, he tells, I am in you. I am shining forth in your heart as aham, I. And when that I also disappears, merges in the heart, there is that stillness. And Bhagavan says that stillness is achalam. Achalat artham ghanam. Ghanam means solidified, very dense awareness. So, ēkaṇān dēvaṉē yeṉṭṛu. You are the Deva, and Deva is non-dual, nothing else exists. You are the Deva. The Deva is already there in you. See, true spiritual manifestations, sometimes like Bhagavan, the power is known, you look at it with the senses, but what happens is inwardly you have the revelation of the inner awareness. In Bhagavatam, when Krishna was born, the beautiful child inside the prison, and Vasudeva is looking at that child, and he started praising with a hymn. Naturally, we will expect the hymn to be, you are so beautiful, you are the divine being, something, it should be like that. But the hymn is, the child is there, But this person is telling, he is the father of the child, but he is telling, I know who you are. You are within me as the witness of my own intellect. Viditosi bhavan sakshat purushah prakritev paraha kevala anubhavananda swarupav sarva buddhi drik. As the sakshi of buddhi, you are the pure non-dual experience within me. Vasudeva tells, usually when we say this story, we will say, why this person is so dry? Because such a beautiful child is born, a blue child, shining like emerald. Emerald, the blue ārkkum, right? Sapphire, right. Like sapphire, shining like that. And this person is telling, you are the self within me. Men are always like that, they are dry. But mother, she is unconscious, she is in swoon. Let her wake up. Then we will know what is human feelings. So, all the devotees will wait for the mother to wake up. So, Devaki wakes up and she looks at that child. And suddenly, her inner thing wakes up. And pure, unadulterated non-duality. And she says, Rupam yattat prahuhu avyaktam adyam brahmajyotihi nirgunam nirvikaram sattamatram, pure existence, nirvishesham, unconditional thing. Niriham yatvam sakshad Vishnu adhyatma deepaha. You are the light that is shining forth within me, the non-dual. Pure awareness, mere existence, simple existence. Like that explosion of samadhi. I told this story to Kanakamma once. And then she said, they are not singing that hymn. The power which is manifested there is making them sing. It is making them turn inward, not allowing them to look outside. It is the power of the impersonal person there. That is why MP Pandit spoke about Bhagavan as the mighty impersonality. The might is, we are so much overpowered by the world, but his might is so much that in this world he appears and makes you turn towards the inner light, at least for a second, at least for a moment. You turn inward, you become inwardly illumined, enlightened. So that is this shloka. In this shloka, Bhagavan is revealing that Deva is already there. Ishvara is already there within you. Bhagavan is already there inside you as your own Atma Shuddha Chaitanyam. And the next verse is very, very beautiful. It is one verse Vedanta. The entire Vedanta philosophy in one verse. Behind that verse, there is a story. When we say story, everyone will come. Somebody asked, what is the most catchy sentence in the world? You say some sentence, everyone become awake. And somebody told, it is nothing but once upon a time. You say once upon a time, everyone become alert. So this story is the story of Adi Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya, the great sage who walked the length and breadth of India. Bhagavan, when he wrote about Shankaracharya, in the foreword of Vivekachudamani, he wrote in Tamil, he said, Parameshwara himself walked. giving up his maṉam, came down and walked the length and breadth of the land, Shiva himself in that form. So, while traveling, he came across many mature souls. You can see in that Shankara Vijayam. We have already, that Atma Tirtham book is there. In English also it is there. Even in French it is there. In Kannada, Telugu, it's all languages is there. You can read that book where you will see this story. Wherever he goes, somebody comes for jnanam. And once he was in the state of Karnataka, today's Karnataka, somewhere in a village. He meets a great scholar. He was a scholar, but very elderly, old person. He has read thoroughly the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, where Yajnavalkya, Samvada, there is, actually this shloka is the essence, the cream form of that conversation of Yajnavalkya. So there, the enquiry is very powerful. Self-enquiry, we simply say, who am I? But sometimes, this who am I has to be done with a master. From where you stand, you should be pushed inward till you behold the light. It can be from any spot. The Upanishad has its own prakriya. Sometimes you will be taken from the emotion where you stand. Many people had that kind of experience with Bhagavan. Two people were fighting. Few minutes before, one of those has asked Bhagavan how to do self-enquiry. Bhagavan did not reply. And the person said, Bhagavan, I am not able to catch hold of the eye. You say you have to catch hold of the eye and go to the root, but the eye is not palpable. Bhagavan left it there. He did not reply. After few minutes, this person went inside kitchen because he was working in the kitchen. He picked up a fight with another person. They were fighting. The other person said, you do not know me, I will show you. And he also said, you think you can play with me? Suddenly he saw Bhagavan standing there. Bhagavan said, see, this is the right moment to catch hold of the eye. Because you say, I will show you who I am. You need not show him. You look at that eye. Because the eye is throbbing now. Aham vimarsha, that Kashmir Shaivism, they also use so many methods. Like when you have anger, you catch hold of the eye. When you have jealousy, you catch hold of the eye. Even when you have boredom, you can catch hold of the eye. Somebody said to Bhagavan, Bhagavan, I am feeling bored, blankness. Bhagavan said, the blankness is the result of not paying attention to the eye. Find out who is feeling the eye. Oh, it is very dry. I cannot transcend that state. The dryness is like a rock. Break that rock. You will find water. Pure water underneath. Ask who is feeling this. Eye. Till the eye reveals its face, ask this question. Keep this question inside like a fire. Who is this me? Who is this me? And this person who was angry, Bhagavan's look itself was a question, who are you? He just looked at him and said, find out who is this I. We do not know whether that person was able to do it, but the story stands there. In the story of Shankaracharya here, he was a very mature person, very learned, scholarly, and he is old, very old. So he is asking Bhagavad-pada how to find that light which illumines everything. What is the light with which everything is known? Because the last verse it said, māviyā meṉṇāl. The spirit is the light behind. But nothing is visible. I am not able to hold it, see it. What is that light? Then Shankaracharya asked him, now how are you seeing this world? Means, with what light are you seeing this world? This is the song. Parayana pannu mama. Ipo pannu. Oli unaroliyethu kanadunaroliyethu Oli mati unaroliyethu adu aham Oli tanil oliyuni ena guru aham ate. Very, very powerful verse. The Guru and Shishya, they are having a dialogue, and the end of dialogue is realization. That simple it is. The person becomes illumined. In fact, Shankaracharya puts his hand on the head of that old man and tells you, Swayam Prakasha Bidhano Bhava. From now onwards, you will be called as Swayam Prakasha, the self-effulgent one. So, very beautiful incident where this very ripe, mature person is asking Shankaracharya to help him so that the real who am I can happen now. The real who am I means you ask actually once and you are illumined. We are practicing who am I thousands of times to see whether we will be able to do it at least once. If you can honestly, sincerely do it once, the process is over. See, with Bhagavan it happened like that. Only once he did who am I. Finished. So too, if you can directly look at the eye once, the intellect has that power. If it is absolutely free of all the pollution, ignorance, doubt, and it directly gazes at the eye, the infinitude of the self will be perfectly reflected in it. And that will be the end. Only once. And for that, the tradition, what they do, they study the Upanishads, everything, get clarity and become mature. And at last the Guru and the disciple has a dialogue on Mahavakya. During sannyasa, that is what they do. Really, they have to do that. Then only it is sannyasa. The Mahavakya Vichara happens, and the end of that Mahavakya Vichara is neither Guru exists, nor the disciple, nor the world. No I, no you. Only that deluge of bliss which melts everything. Neither Guru, nor the disciple, nor the world. No I, you, anything. Na shastram, na shasta, na shishyo, na shiksha, na chattvam, na chaham, na chayam prapanchaha. Swarupa vabodho vikalpa asahishnu tadego vashishta shiva kevaloham. I am that Shiva, I am that pure awareness. No teacher, no taught, no teaching. no I, no you, no world. The duality is unbearable. The inner one, not even for a split second, allows the duality to stay there. It is effulgent as the non-dual pure awareness. So, to reach that auspicious terminus, culmination of inquiry, here happens an inquiry. The old man is with so much bhakti, devotion, is asking Bhagavad Pada, tell me, what is that light? And Shankaracharya is asking, the true teacher, we think, we find that they never answer. They also only question you, they help you to find the answer in yourself. Actually, you are the answer. They only pose a counter question. So this person is asking, what is Jyoti? Light. And Shankaracharya is asking him again, Kim Jyoti Hittava Ahani? In the daytime, how are you seeing everything? Simple answer. He said, Bhanuman, it is the sun. Tamil lena? Inan. Oli unakku edu pahalil. The daytime, what is the oli, the light? Inan enakku. Inan means sun. Inan is sun. Inan enakku. Inanu Sanskritam. It is also Sanskritam. Ina. Inan enakku. Kim Jyotistava Bhanuman Ahanime. Bhanuman Ahanime. Daytime, I am seeing the world by the light of sun. Okay. Ratrau, in the night, how do you see? Pradipadikam. I use some lamp, torch or electric lamp, or sometimes moonlight also. Ratrau pradipadikam. First, your attention is turned towards something, then it is turned toward yourself. Syadevam. Ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyoti. How do you see the sun, the moon, the lamp, the torch, anything? How do you see? Chakshuhu, with the eyes. I am seeing everything with the eyes. Oli irul vilak. Oli unar, oli edu. Kan. Through the eyes, I am able to see the light, outer light. Tasya nimilanadi samaye kim. When you close your eyes, what is the light? When you close your eyes, then also you are knowing. That is why usually we give the example, to hold the eye directly, you sit in a dark room. And in the dark room, you are aware I am. It's a very simple sadhana, but it gives you a great breakthrough, because the experience of your existence there is not the body. Actually, we are only experiencing the self. Body we are not experiencing. Mind also comes and goes. Constantly there is Atma Anubhava in everybody. That is why for the Jnani there are no Ajnanis. For the awakened one, everyone is awakened, nobody is sleeping. Anidram, aswappanam, advaitam buddhyate tada. As Gaudapada Acharya says, there is no dream, no sleep. always there is that splendor of the truth. Everyone is feeling it, aparoksha. That is why Bhagavan sometimes he remarks, it is a wonder that you are not able to see it. You are that. It is shining forth within you, always luminous. So, tasya nimilanadi samaye, when you close your eyes, what is there? You are dreaming. Dēhi. The buddhi, the intellect is creating so many forms. See, the dream plane is the plane where Vedanta plays and also Buddhism plays. Buddhism also, for every explanation of this world is not real. How? Like the dream. So many things are there. That is, this, that. You suppose I am dreaming. In the dream I am seeing all of you. I am seeing myself also talking. But if you see Buddhism, they will say, nobody has any self. Neither me nor you. Nobody has any self. Sarve dharma swabhavena. As Mandukya Karika, Gaudabhadacharya says this, all people are already that. This is Vedanta's view. But Buddhism says all people don't carry I. Nobody has any I. Because in the dream, everyone is there and everybody is free also. Like the waking state, I am giving talks and you come in between, sit for 5 minutes and go back. And I feel very bad, this person is sitting and going. And you are also me. So if you ask, if that person is also happening in my dream, my mind is appearing as him, so why don't he listen to me? அவன் சொன்னா கேட்க மாட்டேங்கிறான், நானே தான் அவன் சொன்னாங்க கேட்க மாட்டேன், சொன்னா கேட்காம இருக்கிறதும் நான் தான். Is not listening also is me. And there is no self for neither for you, nor for me, nor for the feeling. So that what they call as shunyam, anatma. And Vedanti says, there is a atma behind all this anatma. In that atma this is appearing. In that atma it arises, in that atma it stays, in that atma it disappears when you wake up. And only that one non-dual thing exists. That is not anatma. This is Vedanta. So, all that happens, where does it happen? Dīhi, buddhi. Oli mati. Mati unar oliyet. Bhagavan has taken one padam. Who is aware of the buddhi? This is one version. Who is aware of the buddhi? Dhiyo darshane kim. Another patha is dhiyaha adarshane kim. Another version of it is when the brain intellect itself is not, that is in deep sleep. The intellect is not operating, the I is not there, he is not there, this is not, nothing is there. There is sleep without a dream. Sukham. What was there? Not even the individual I. What is there? Adi aham, that is me. What exists there is my real self. Oli tanil oliyum ni yanaguru. That is you. Yes, kim tatra aham ato bhavan paramagam jyoti. You are that supreme light. Just to remind it, that Kartike Deepam is lit. Arunachala is carrying that fire on his head to tell you that you are the fire. There is a tradition. This Arunachala Deepam is celebrated in every village in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, in Kerala also, many places. Everywhere it will be celebrated. And what they will do, in the local temple there will be a lamp is lit. And from that lamp, every house will carry a mud lamp in which they will carry the light to their home. And that is called Chokkapane. Chokkana light. Chokkanātha Peruman. Sundareshwara. So that light, that lamp, for keeping it unaffected by wind, we will keep it inside a pot and take it home. So the one light, everywhere they take that lamp. The light is you. Jyotishāmapi tad jyotihi tamasah paramuchyate jnanam jneyam jnanagamyam hridi sarvasya vishtitam. It is the light of all lights. Jyotisham api tat jyotihi. And it is beyond darkness. It is the knower, it is the known, it is the knowledge. And that light is you. This is the Ekashloki. In one verse, Vedanta is given. One verse Vedanta. Simple course. Finished. And that old man became a liberated person, a realized soul. And Shankaracharya told him, from today onwards, you are the self-effulgent one, Swayam Prakasha. Your name itself is Swayam Prakasha. There was one Swami in Kerala. His name was also Swayam Prakasha. His guru was an illumined soul. He was a blind saint. Their story also I have heard from, there was one disciple of that Ramananda Swami, an old yogini mother. She was very, very affectionate to me. And she was a Jivan Mukta. She lived very beautiful life in a small hut, not even a lamp, electricity also was not there. And she used to say, it's all Ananda here. And she told about this story of this Swayam Prakasha Swami having a dialogue with Ramananda Swami whole night that I told you. Conversation on Vedanta. Just like this. And in the morning, by the time before the sunrise, the disciple got illumined. And in his own words, what he said is Ananda Kadal. So ocean of Ananda, ocean of bliss. The world is no more neither Guru nor Shishya, it's all bliss, bliss, bliss. The conversation takes, it is just like, you do churning of two fire sticks and it burns. Actually, when fire arises, both sticks gets burnt. Like that it is. So this is the Ekashloki of Bhagavad Pada. Kim jyotistava bhanuvana hanime ratrau pradipadikam syadevam ravideepa darshana vidhau kim jyotirakhyahime chakshustasya nimilanadi samaye kim dhihi dhiyo darshane kim tatrahamato bhavan paramagam jyotistadasmi prabho. When Shankaracharya told him, you are the light, that old scholar, he said, yes Lord, I am that. Saying this, he merged into Nirvikalpa Samadhi and stayed in that state for some time. And when he opened his eyes, Bhagavad-pada put his hand on his head and said, Swayam Prakasha Bidhano Bhava. You are from now onwards Swayam Prakasha. So this is the story. Oli unakkedu pagal il inan enakku irul vilakku oli unar oli edu kan adu unar oli edu oli mati mati unar oli edu adu aham oli tanil oliyum ni ena guru aham ade. The Guru says, you are that light. And the disciple says, aham ade, I am that. There the whole story ends. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva tato navachyam mama kinchidasti yatha tavishtam kurumam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhaja.